What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Take It Apart channel. Today, I've got a special for you. This is my radar detector, and it's served me well over the years. It's a Cobra brand, and I believe this one here is a 360 laser model SPX 7800 BT. This guy here supposedly is able to detect from both sides, and it's got a bunch of neat features. And I've had to do videos where I repair this guy before, but now it is beepity beeping constantly. And I actually see a couple other problems, like the LCD here in the back, which was fading over the years. It is cracked, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to check that out. I'll pull it apart for you guys, and then we will take a look at the circuit board itself and see maybe we can figure out what's going on. Let's do it. All right, this guy is actually pretty simple because it only has four number one Phillips fasteners. Just go ahead and pull those out. Very simple. And it's got some pretty complex electronics inside, to be honest. Show you guys the modification that I had to do previously because that was a little bit of a challenge. All right, here we go. Lid is off. And here's a close-up view. And you can partially see what was going on before. There are some problems like this one right here. You see this wire? See how it's squished? That's actually kind of been like that since the factory. It's a weird little quinky dink. And now that I got it up on the microscope, makes it even more interesting. So we are kind of looking to see if we can detect what happened, what went wrong. All right. So the covers, I'm going to pull the covers off. This right here is a focusing lens. It detects laser, and you can see how what it's going to do is it's going to collect, and it's convex. Going to collect them all into a single point, and it's going to focus them down this focusing horn right here. Down it goes. All right, and let's see if we can pull off the other side. It doesn't really want to come apart that way. Okay, well, you know how it goes. It doesn't come apart. We just keep removing fasteners, right? Now, other than that wire right there, everything kind of looks normal. Just started behaving erratically just probably in the last month. So I took it out of my Jeep. It's not like I'm speeding in my Jeep anyway, but you know, better safe than sorry, right? I did have this in my Corvette, and it actually served its purpose quite well. So now what I'm going to do, see if I can get a pick. This right here is a flap we lift up, right? Yep. And that releases this ribbon cable. And the circuit board should pull away now. I think I got all the fasteners. Interesting that it's got this little piece of reflective tape right here. I have no idea. It feels heavier than a normal tape, so maybe it's for radio interference. No idea. It does cover up some of these calibration pots though. So we see we have two of them here. And I've got two of them here. Set that off to the side. And I've got one right here. All sorts of calibrations on this guy. All right, let's see. There we go. Just had to give it a little bit of love. And I have a little connector right here that's keeping the top and the bottom together. And that just goes to this little speaker right there. Okay, and on the inside, you can see my menu buttons right here. These little surface mount buttons. All of them look fantastic. And I'm not seeing any signs of leaky capacitors or whatnot. Texas is just rough on electronics. You put electronics in the window of your car, and Texas is going to destroy them. It's that's the great equalizer. Let's see. These here are just joined together by some risers. Oh, there we go. Okay. Well, take a look. So I have a little bit of a anti-vibration pad right there, and you can see, I guess it was doing its job. It was keeping the horn from riding completely on this chip right here. And all those components look pretty good. This is like a $300 or $400, maybe more, detector, but just is what it is. Let's see, what does that say right there? There's something data. No idea. You guys know what this guy is? Is that like a shunt resistor? It looks like it's saying ground. No, so it wouldn't be a shunt resistor. Some it's combining this to the ground of the device, and all I can think of is maybe it's doing that to keep noise out from going back into the negative of the car, or keeping noise from getting in on the ground plane. Oh, you guys know, let me know. It's interesting. So all these components that are shielded, those are not heat sinks. That is just RF shielding, and you can see that they soldered it. It's fastened right to the ground plane. It's to keep any noise from coming or going. Because I imagine that what this guy is just an amplifier. So anything that comes in, it's going to amplify and maybe get misreads. So it takes small signals and it collects them like here in this metallic horn, and it's going to, with gain, boost that. And there's probably an analog digital converter in here so that this here creates a digital signal that tells the brain box right here there's a cop. So this right here, I believe, is the power management. Yeah. So it has a current problem where it is giving false positives like constantly. So false positives tells me that has something to do with either the connection here. And notice how that guy just kind of popped off. It did. It just kind of fell away. So maybe it had poor connection to this board. I'm not destroying anything right now because I might try to put it back together. And right now, I'm going to pull the display off. Now, the display on this really didn't do very much anyway. You plug it in, you stick it on your dash, and if it beepity beeps, then you know you're in trouble. You got somebody out there, either EMS or it's a police officer. Somebody out there means that you got to slow down. Man, this one fastener right here is being a little pain. There we go. So you guys can see right here that it is cracked. But this display right here was fading out anyway. It was getting darker and darker. Just complete garbage. But then again, it's just the way it goes. This guy, like I said, it's out in the Texas sun. It's really hot. And I believe right there, nope, that's a 6-pin. The 8-pin is right there. Okay. So the 8-pin is maybe what was given the false positive, because it just kind of fell apart. It was just like this. And you see how minimal that popped together. But that is a firm press right there. And look, it's staying in there. When I took this apart, it fell apart. I'm kind of curious of whether or not that was the problem. let's take a look inside the horn. I know you guys are probably curious. What is inside that thing? Somebody's going to say it's a radioactive material or something. It is a calibrated instrument. I mean, look at all that metallic shielding. So opening it up might goof it up anyway. Hard to say. It's really goofy to try and open things on camera, guys. Here we go. So we have, are those heat sinking? Hard to say. Because I don't see any imprints on them. Not really. You know what those are? Those are to join the ground plane of this guy to the horn. You can see how they got the large contacts there, right there. I believe that those guys are making contact and maybe make an electrical connection better between the 2 points. I don't know. You guys know? Let me find out. That's why I love doing these, because if I don't know something, you guys are sure as hell to let me know. I can't be wrong about nothing. There we go. Got some number 0 Phillips. Right. This guy here. See one fastener right there. Okay. Got one fastener here, one fastener here. But I think there's also a fastener here. Take a look. See this guy right here? We've got a couple. There you go. I think that's as good as I can get it. Huh. Let's see if I can separate that bad boy. I don't know if I can. Oh, close enough. Sorry it broke, guys. So why not tear it apart? There we go. All right. So you can see the little board. Oh, let's get these screws out of the way. You see the little board that takes the measurements. What the heck is going on here? So I can see some pathways, and I'm assuming a lot of op amps. And like I said earlier, I would imagine that this guy here is an analog digital converter. And this right here, this little guy right here, does the measurements. That guy. I'm not going to touch it because I don't honestly know what it is. That little tiny component right there actually does the measurements, because the horn focuses everything in, and it kind of comes straight in down this pathway here, and it's probably going to induce a charge or something on this. And that almost looks like a little inductor. I don't know, guys. I wouldn't think it'd be that simple, but it almost looks like that. Crazy things. So they're little antennas, and they're clearly designed to pick up a very specific wavelength. Very cool. If you guys know what it is, let me know. I'm actually very curious. And you can see right here that the horn is split. See that? So it splits it off between one pathway or the other. How curious is that? That's not a structural piece. is part of the horn. Oh, cool. So that is the measurement device. It does have some other measurement devices or detectors. It has an infrared or laser detector. I would assume that that's laser. And it's got a forward looking laser detector right there. Yeah. So the other one was for radio. These ones here are for laser. Those guys right there. Too bad because can't really see it with this microscope. Well, and let's see. So right here is my power supply for this guy. Yep, it goes into there. Voltage regulation, my different power phases. And then it goes to the measurement circuit and to the display driver. Yep. Cool stuff, guys. Really neat. So anyway, guys, that's pretty much it. A lot of microelectronics in there. That is the Cobra. And you can see it's quite a few parts, you know, if I were to lay them all out. Really interesting. So that looks like infrared, but I guess it could be laser. Do you guys know what that is? So I've got a bulb there that lines up with those detectors on this bad boy. Not that one, this one. So this is the detector board. This is the one that the horn interfaces with. Got the risers, laser detectors. Cool stuff. That's the SPX 7800 BT by Cobra. It was a dandy instrument. Saved me probably hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, and maybe my driver's license. Maybe. I don't know. But guys, it was fun taking it apart, even if it means just one last time. Oh well. It's one of those things that they are kind of disposable nowadays, and technology is changing so quickly that you kind of have to update your radar detectors because they're using different bands, using different technologies like laser and instant on. So if you don't update your laser and whatnot, your detector, it's going to fall behind and you're going to get a ticket. Don't speed, guys. Anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned. I've got several other teardowns I'm going to work on, and maybe they're a little less complex than this one. Hope. All right, guys.
If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so drop a comment below with what you'd like to see in future videos.